Welcome back to the Sports Desk Live. Welcome back, man. We're very, very excited, man, for another round of some high-profile wrestling. All right, so we're going to have some good conversations tonight. Before we get started, of course, man, I'm your guy one more time, Dedrick L, Hicks Jr., one of your favorite sportsologists, and I am Mommy's #1 fan. All right, and I got my guy with me. Introduce yourself, man.
TLTG Reviews, and all I got to say about that is yeet.
Yeet. Yeah, man. So we are here. Me and Ross was just together. I want to say about 2-3 weeks ago, and we did our first show talking about Crown Jewel, which ended up being a very solid event. We had a great time doing it. And as I announced about a month ago, you're going to see more wrestling conversations here on the Sports Desk Live. But before we get started, if you have not subscribed yet and you like what you're hearing, like what you're seeing, do us a favor and hit the subscribe button. We will be growing this channel. More content will be coming more frequently. And we cover everything: wrestling, boxing, MMA, NCAA football, pro basketball, everything. Anything sports related, you'll get a piece of the pie here on the Sports Desk Live. All right, so wrestling fans, it is time for one of the biggest events of the year that the WWE puts on, and that is of course the legendary Survivor Series event. And Ross, and maybe you know, but I think the first event was back in 82 or 83. No,
Survivor Series is 25 years old, I believe.
That is correct.
No, I'm tripping. I think it's a little older than that.
I think it was in the 80s. I should have looked it up.
Yeah, you're right. I'm thinking of a different premium live event. It's weird not calling pay-per-views.
Premium live event. Yeah. That's right. I still have to get used to it myself.
Yeah, I just recently finally got to where I stopped calling them pay-per-views.
For sure, man. So Survivor Series. Just quickly, man, just throughout the many years, many moments that happen at Survivor Series, what's your feel for the event? And give me one memory from Survivor Series that just comes to your mind.
Man, that's a tough one. Number one Survivor Series moment, I would have to say, comically in recent memory, was the DX Survivor Series in the early 2000s.
Okay.
Where it was very PG and DX was a comedy act then. They were what the Alpha Academy is now.
All right.
And it was one of those deals against there's a couple Spirit Squad members and I forgot who else, but that was when Shawn Michaels started the match. I forgot who it was. Somebody that's nobody.
Right.
Hits him with a soup kick, does this and pins him real quick, and he looks at Triple H and goes, "Who was that?"
Yeah.
Totally buried the guy. It's like one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So that moment jumps out into my mind right away. And I'm just such a big Shawn Michaels mark in the first place.
Absolutely.
So, of course, it's an HBK memory.
For me is the tournament. All right. I believe they called it Deadly Games was the theme of that pay-per-view. And the back then it was pay-per-view, but it was a tournament for the WWE Championship. And this is when The Rock was really catching fire. He had just moved out of that Intercontinental Championship role, so to speak, and he was really setting himself up for stardom. Fan favorite. All the fans loved him. Gets to the finals against the chosen one. Shout out to my hat. Have a nice day, Mankind. And it happened. He turned into corporate Rock right before our eyes. And as I was in high school when it happened, and I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was one of the best jobs. Now that I go back and look at it, just well done of The Rock turning heel. And I don't know how you feel, Ross, but I think Rock's top 10 heel. He's a top 10 heel of all time.
Oh God, The Rock was such a great heel that everybody couldn't help but love him.
Yes,
it's the same effect MJF went through, where it's like you have no choice. You're a babyface. You can be all the heel you want. Yeah, we love you. We're going to cheer for you. That's where it really began. He's the first major horrible heel, nasty heel that everybody just loved.
Yeah,
maybe Roddy Piper before that, I think would be an argument, but
great one. That's a great one. Yeah, corporate Rock was born, and the corporation and all that. So yeah, that's one of my top moments because I remember it vividly. All right, so we are here to discuss this year's premium live event, Survivor Series 2023. edition. We will be previewing the show. We will be doing our predictions. We have this humongous card of 5 matches that we're going to be discussing and breaking down. But before,
is that a bad thing?
Is it? No, it's not. I don't think so.
I think because you expect more emotion and storytelling with WWE, that it's better that it's a smaller card.
I'm good with it.
More room to get you invested.
And that's what I was about to say.
If you have an AEW card that's high spot heavy, and for the purists that focus on the match more than the story,
right?
They got the most loaded cards ever. There's pay-per-views for you. But if you want the story, especially a major one of the big 4 for WWE,
right?
This one's going to be emotion filled.
And I'm with you. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity for some development as we are knocking at the door of WrestleMania season. So I like it, and there's plenty of opportunity. So I'm with you on that, Ross. So
we got my guy PLE before we start the Rumble in the road to WrestleMania.
Absolutely. We got my guy Randy in the chat. What's up, Randy? Thank you for joining us, man. He's saying, "Sup, fam? I know this is not what is it? I know it's not sports, but sin of the day is stronger with you, tobacco." Now let's get to wrestling. Yes, we are getting into wrestling. Randy also says,
"No, it's not a sin of the day." He saw the eye fragrance post.
So got it.
Yeah, eye fragrance broke that a little. Long.
Oh, my fault. My fault. I thought that was his sin of the day. Okay. In real time, I read really fast. Yeah. All right. So, he says the return of CM Punk. He's calling it. Okay. How excited are you?
Air on that.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that before we get into the card, actually. Yeah. So, how excited are you guys that Orton is in War Games? Well, funny as you speak of that, Randy. We're going to talk about that right now. And Bilbo Fraggins is in the house. Says DX is back, baby. Suck it. So shout out Bilbo for watching. So Ross, let's go ahead and get into it, man. I got the small docket here for this pay-per-view, and as you can see at the bottom of the screen here, CM Punk. I figure we go ahead and start off with this before we get into the card. Ross, man, me and you've been talking for weeks, speculation. We talked about it a little bit on the Crown Jewel show. Again, Ross, where are you at with the whole CM Punk thing as Survivor Series is in his hometown of Chicago?
I'm very torn because I could see this all predicates on if they're wanting to put that pain in the ass back in the locker room. Because look, on screen, we all love CM Punk.
Absolutely.
I'm sure 99% of the things we've heard about him behind the curtain is true. I'm confident because it's been 20 years of people saying this.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't say that kind of stuff about you for 20 years and there's no truth to it.
That's right.
So with that said, let's play the scenario of they're going to hire him back. Okay.
I'm
super torn because with Triple H having the book now and really making his mark on the way things are going to be and setting press, because this is kind of now Vince is officially away from creative. And this is the first full pay-per-view Crown Jewel, but this is the first of their major PLEs that it's 100% no chance of Vince influence.
Right.
And he could want to make this mark, strike while the iron's hot kind of thing. But I want to give Paul Levesque the credit for being smarter than that and knowing that if we're indeed going to do this business, we need to disappoint the Chicago fans and let the dirt sheet speculate for the Rumble and save it for the Rumble, because it would be more impactful as a random entrant, not 1, not 30, somewhere in the middle, that Cult of Personality music hits. Right. It'll be a bigger pop than Chicago will even give Saturday.
Yeah, of course. I'm with you. I'm with you with the Punk thing. I've watched Triple H talk about the business. I've watched Paul Levesque, Triple H talk about the stories, and even as last year, as we finished up WrestleMania last year, he ended his post Mania conference talking about Cody's story. So that led me to believe that he's locked in on fulfilling storylines, true breeded stories to kind of full circle that you can look back on 10, 20 years from now and say, like, wow.
He's really dedicated himself to bringing us back to what the prime days that he loved was with the modern stuff.
Yeah. Every feud back in his day.
You had feuds that went forever back then.
And with everybody. I don't care if you were in the Intercontinental Championship circle, the hardcore title circle, and it doesn't matter. You were a part of a story. So I'm going to give Triple H that credit. I don't think we get Punk at Survivor Series. The chance will be rampant. Yeah, the chance will be rampant. And why not save it? Why not save it and build and build and build? Because me and Ross, we talked about, we both believe that this Mania coming up could possibly be set up as one of the greatest that we've seen probably in the last decade.
Should we go ahead and fantasy book what we think with CM Punk while
Let's
we're on the topic?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Damian Priest gets written off of TV after what's going to happen. I saw Ollie Davis on Wrestle Talk mention this storyline. I think it's brilliant. I think it's very probable.
Mm-hmm.
And imagine the Drew McIntyre thing. Reluctantly, Finn Balor takes part in it, but the real fracture finally happens in Judgment Day where they turn on Damian Priest because of the fracture getting bigger and bigger. They write him off of TV with an injury beat down. So Drew ends up now with Judgment Day backing him, taking that title off of Seth Rollins.
Right.
So Rollins no longer has this title, so he can enter into this feud that they have been publicly being. It's personal. It's a real, like, they don't like each other, Phil Brooks and Seth Rollins, CM Punk. They really don't like each other. So you have a built-in story if they're willing to do business, because Seth Rollins has proven, because he doesn't like Cody. Him and Cody don't really like each other.
In real life.
It's not storyline. They really don't like each other.
In real life, for sure.
So if they can do the things they've been able to do, which is brilliance with the matches and the storytelling.
Absolutely.
If CM Punk's willing to do business, Seth Rollins will do business because he knows what the outcome could be if they do business together. That's your Mania match for Punk.
Mm-hmm.
The belt has to be off of Rollins because you can't put CM Punk in a title picture in his first feud. You can't. No. It just doesn't make any sense. It's not fair to anyone in that locker room.
Mm-hmm.
But in turn, you're able to get a cash in with the Damian Priest return because the bad blood's going to be there to take it off of Drew. So it works in the two storylines really well for it to play out this way. And then Damian can have his extended run and be away from the Judgment Day and all of that. So I personally loved that booking idea, and I really think that I'd love to see that, so I can't get away from it. Basically, that's the booking I'm hoping to see.
It sounds really attractive to hear that, and then just put your mind there. And I'm with you. That happens. What a score for WWE to deliver that. But I got a little wilder booking scenario. All right. Okay. So for me, this coming weekend, in my gut, I feel Punk will not show up. He won't be there. But let's just say the small chance that War Games is over. We're going to talk Randy Orton here in a second. Randy Orton got some problems with one of the War Games team members. All hell potentially could break loose in this match. Hear me out. What has Randy done several times in his career? Out of nowhere, he snaps just to get it going with Jay. Bodies are laying. Cody's trying to break it up. Stuff goes on at the end of the match. The pay-per-view is getting ready to try to roll off. And CM Punk returns to a battered and bruised Seth Rollins. Rollins is laying there. Scene clears out. Punk's hits him with the go to sleep. And then Priest's music hits. Rollins is laying. He's out. Priest comes down. He cashes in and becomes world champion. And then the bread has been buttered for Punk and Rollins to slowly develop into a boom at WrestleMania.
I like that so much. I'm good with either of these.
Yeah.
Because both develop two stories. And I think an underlying story, real quick.
Yeah, I know what you're going to say.
The potential, I know you do, is the potential for an RKO on Cody after.
Yes.
Because what is Cody going to do until the Rumble?
Who's there for him right
now? Randy's 20 years has been turning on his friends. That's what it's known. They call back to it every time he's doing anything. They call, because it was supposed to be he turns on Riddle when he came back.
Yes.
Riddle's gone.
He's gone.
He could turn on Cody because Cody's super baby face and Randy's one of the best heels in history. So
yes. And one more.
There's a lot of stories that can come from this one War Games match.
And yes, and there's one more development. Priest is champion. Now we build McIntyre versus Priest for WrestleMania.
Because there's already that heat.
It's already there. So you could potentially have three mega.
Because McIntyre stopped him from cashing in once already. They went back to that yesterday on Raw.
And McIntyre's agenda is he wants to be champion again, and he wants his acclaim. He wants it. He wants it. So a lot can be done there. We'll have plenty of time to talk about it.
We went a lot of ways off of this CM Punk thing because there's so much involved with what could happen. Absolutely. And I think at least half of this is going to come to fruition.
I hope so.
We're talking about it. I think at least half of it does.
I hope so for sure. So we'll be watching. We know you guys will be watching, and then we will see how it plays out. And like I said, plenty of time for us to continue to dive in as things develop. All right, let's go ahead and get into the card. As of now, WWE has announced 5 matches for the Survivor Series cards. We have 1 show left, SmackDown this Friday. If you're watching this in the future, obviously that's already happened. The go-home show is in a couple of days. Something could be there, but we'll see. But let's go ahead and get into what they provided for us. This is what we're going to start off with first, Ross. All right, we have the return of Carlito. Carlito versus Santos Escobar. Nice little feud brewing here. In the LWO, Rey Mysterio is on the shelf right now. What do you think about the heel turn, and how do you think Carlito favors in this match?
I think Carlito is going to be made to look strong, but I think this is your sneaky match of the night.
Okay.
In the ring action, with the story being told, I think this has match of the night potential.
Okay.
It really does, because Santos Escobar as a heel is going to be great. It's going to be Eddie Guerrero type shit.
I think so too.
I think that's what it's going to be, because Santos Escobar hasn't been given an opportunity to really shine. He's actually really, really good.
Very talented.
And the best part about this future booking down the line, because it's a time of waiting for a contract to expire for Andrade to go back to WWE.
Andrade.
Fantasmo was his group.
Yep.
Okay, so there's that in the future. That's coming. So having Santos Escobar as a heel when Andrade is naturally going to be a babyface, we got that down the line.
Sure.
But I'm getting ahead of myself here. I understand. There's so much great. I think 2024 is going to be such a good year.
Yeah. Exciting times.
Such a good year.
Yeah.
But I think this has match of the night potential because Santos Escobar is that good, and Carlito has become a true veteran where he understands the timing and the emotion of working the crowd at this stage. If you look at some of his work and see some of the stuff he did on the indies, he's gotten so much better than, biting the apple. That's not cool. Caribbean cool back in the day.
You're right.
He's so much better than he used to be. So I'm actually looking forward to this. I don't always watch every match from start to finish. Some matches I jump through to the finish.
Sure.
I'm not doing that on this match.
Okay.
I think there's going to be too much great stuff happening in this match. It's going to build us to more for down the line.
Absolutely. Who's your winner?
I think Santos Escobar.
Yeah.
I think they have to establish him as a dominant heel.
Yeah.
Cheat to win, Eddie Guerrero type stuff, but not babyface Eddie Guerrero, heel Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think I think Escobar just has the talent. When you watch him in the ring, he's going to entertain you. He's going to be must see. He's going to get this platform that I think he deserves because he's put in hella work. And I think everything is setting up for that, I think, potential one-on-one matchup with Rey Mysterio down the line as Rey comes back, possibly for Mania.
Yeah, it's going to be Mania.
But this is what I think the WWE needs. You need these alternate storylines. So when you're not dealing with Judgment Day and you're not dealing with Bloodline, you got this. And this is the feel that Triple H is going to give us, just like he was a part of that in his heyday. So I do like and appreciate
We're here.
that.
I was thinking it as you were talking.
Yeah, more storylines, more to invest in.
Every match on these premium live events has to have an involved story.
You have to be invested. So I love the return of Carlito. I can't wait to see him back in the WWE ring in a match and doing this thing. I know he's been indie for quite a while now, so I'm looking forward for his pop, when he does come out, because it's been a while, but they're going to set up Escobar. He deserves a spot. He wins by cheating, because I was with you when you said it, and then it continues on. All right, so Escobar gets the win for me and Ross. All right, moving along.
Carlito's going to look strong throughout, but he's not winning.
No, Escobar's going to win. Moving along, man, I love this guy right here. We have the Intercontinental Championship match with Walter and the Miz for the Intercontinental Championship of the world. Ross, where are we at? This has been I tell you what, Monday night, the promo of Gunther was sensational.
It was, and Miz is underrated for how good he is on the mic.
He's underrated, period.
Miz can really come out and cut a promo on people. When you want to do shoot promos, Miz is really good at doing shoot promos.
Yeah, I agree.
But I don't know how much I like babyface Miz because I like Mike. I've always liked Mike. I'm glad he made it because I remember watching him in the real world when I was a kid.
Here.
You know what I mean? I've been watching him his entire life on TV. I've been watching
entire adult life. He's been on television.
This man, that's an original character that man came up with. That is what the Miz is.
Amazing.
This is awesome. You know, so I just don't like babyface Miz. He's more as that shit heel that nobody likes.
Right.
That's cocky and the A-lister and. I'm a big Hollywood star because I've been in these WWE straight to DVD movies, The Marine. You know, like it's a great gimmick for him. It really is.
Sure.
So it's hard to buy babyface Miz because Gunther's that, you know, hard to beat heelish but stern, respectable heel. He's not a nasty heel.
Nope.
So you have to. Everybody that faces him has to be a try-hard babyface.
Yep.
So they had, since they want Miz to be some filler feud for him, they had to make him a babyface. The problem is, where do you go from here with Miz after this feud?
Yeah, and I'm thinking, me and you on the same page.
Because it's just filler for Gunther right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's my issue with this feud. It's gonna be you're gonna get 4-star Miz. It's not gonna be a 5-star match, but you're gonna get 4-star Miz because he's gonna be in the spots where he doesn't necessarily excel. The other side of the ring does excel because Gunther's he's that guy. He's outgrown the title at this stage. He's kind of going as far as he can with it, but they don't have the right person to take it off of him yet. They haven't built the right guy, and it's not Miz. I think Miz is going to have a great match. I think it's going to be an underappreciated match. It's going to get some acclaim because of Gunther, because there's some big Gunther marks.
Oh yeah, and I'm one of
big Gunther marks. And I'm here for it.
Yeah,
but that's my issue with the feud is they forced a babyface turn with Miz when. Miz isn't, I mean, he's not a bad babyface, but he's not a good babyface either.
He's a much better heel.
That's kind of where I'm at with it. Miz doesn't win, obviously, but he'll have some bright spots, but it's going to be a dominant finish for Gunther as usual. There'll be some chops, going to be some power bombs, a lot of meat mashing, typical stuff.
To kind of piggyback off what you said about they don't have the right guy to take the championship off Gunther, and he's outgrowing. I hate to say that, but Intercontinental Championship is so prestige. But this guy's superstardom and what he brings to the table over the past since he's been in NXT. I mean, it's just been powerful, more power.
Think about how Vince McMahon was about to bury this dude.
Yeah, and it's crazy.
They were about to bury this dude and fire him before Hunter got the book. It's crazy. That was known around the industry. They were about to bury this dude. It's crazy.
This guy's legit, man. He's legit, and I love the Miz. I respect the Miz. He has been such a staple in the last 2 decades.
Yep.
The last
you
2
can count
decades is for everything.
Yep.
For everything. He's dependable. He's reliable. He's
not injury prone.
And he's a WWE guy. So it's like whatever they need, he's been able to help provide. But in my opinion, he's going to get smashed in this.
He'll have a few bright spots, but it's going to be a dominant finish for Gunther.
And then that's where I am. And I'm not a fan of seeing that for Miz because it's Mania season. What do you do with them after this? What do you do? If he goes in there and gets smashed by Gunther, what do you do with Miz? But I got to be honest with myself. I'm more invested in what you do with Gunther. That's what I'm more invested in.
Miz has had he's decorated. He's had a ton of titles over the years. It's not about building him anywhere.
It's not. Yeah. But Gunther is going somewhere, but where? And I don't know what position they're going to be able to put him in. And me and you are on it, man.
That's the first big feud for Priest.
So here's the thing, though. Who gets this title off of him? Because it's not going to be Miz. Just to wrap up my prediction here, Gunther's going to win. Impressive victory. I agree with Ross. Miz is going to have his spots, but really domination by Gunther. He remains champion and he moves on.
Yeah.
I'm concerned with what's next for Gunther. Who? You've already put him against McIntyre. The feud was short-lived, and then McIntyre got hurt or not hurt. Contract disputes, whatever you wanted to talk about. But who can you put out on this roster? And there's only a name or two that I can think that you can throw him into a feud with and see how that develops. And I don't know how you feel about it, but one of them has to be a Jey Uso. Like, what do you do with Jey? Because Jimmy's on the horizon. We know that match is happening in that Mania.
Yeah, that's the Mania match. They're got to keep.
What do you do with? What do you do? What do you do with Gunther?
I think that could be a real contender,
Yes.
I think they've missed 2 opportunities here because they really wanted him to pass Honky Tonk Man. But they had 2 opportunities with Sheamus and Chad. Chad Gable was hot for a little while there. He was putting out 5-star efforts, and they really could have. They gave him more than one chance, but now they're not even saving it for later because they put him back into a comedy role with Alpha Academy.
Yeah,
now he can't be taken seriously as a threat. So Jey Uso would be great because you're obviously not putting him in the big title picture, not yet. I know the name's clever with main event Jey Uso, but that doesn't necessarily mean world heavyweight champion.
Right.
So that would be a great spot for Jey because he's never done the singles title run, and you got to crawl before you walk.
Yes.
So that would make sense to build him for that once this stuff's over because the tag titles are out the picture for him now.
Yeah.
And everything, his music is just me, Oos.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's a natural build that has to happen that could be for the Rumble and or Elimination Chamber. And that's where after the win, that's when you can really start heating up him and Jimmy because now Jimmy starts showing up and attacking him from behind and all these things. You know?
Yeah. And the fans, and I think the wrestling world, WWE Universe, would be accepted of Jey being the one.
He's hot as hell. I mean, you just watch his intro.
Yeah.
He's got his spot in his music. He's standing on the mid rope waiting for it, and he does this little thing with the crowd, and the whole arena's doing it. They even hold the commercial. You can tell they were trying to go to commercial, but they see it's about to happen, and they wait to do the pan out with the crowd because
he got the sauce right now. He got the sauce, hot. and you got to figure out. So I just think we didn't see Gunther at Crown Jewel, so you had to kind of jump right into something here. This is your Intercontinental Champion for crying out loud. So you had to. Yeah, you had to get him in a spot here. This is a good spot because it's going against one of the most respected, underrated veterans in the industry, which is The Miz. So moving forward, Gunther, where does he go? I would love to see him, Jey Uso, feud it out, and Jey Uso take that belt off of him. And then, like you were saying, because I was with you, if the whole Priest thing kind of works out how we speculate, then we can get Gunther into that world.
That can be the first big feud.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Gunther does not have to win because if you're really building Priest needs to win this feud, even if it's a 3-part, goes to a
3 match. Yeah, right, for sure. So I'm with you. All right, man. So let's move along down the card. We're going to start off with the first War Game match. All right, we have the ladies on display. Look at this card here. My goodness, you have Damage Control. They will be taking on some fantastic superstars. Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, the man. Becky Lynch, and I'm happy to see Shotzi get her an opportunity to be on this type of level with all of this great talent. Asuka, Bayley. I mean, it's just an amazing amount of talent. I love how this came together, Ross. What are your thoughts?
There's 2 stories building here.
Absolutely.
There's the turn on Bayley.
It's coming.
And the reconciliation of Charlotte and Becky. Because Bianca in the last year, it was Becky's her friend, and they got each other's back. But Friday, it was, we have no other option. Charlotte, you need to make the call.
Yeah.
And she comes out before the music hits. There's only one person I would want on our team. Yeah. They put it on Charlotte in the story.
They did.
When Bianca in the last year, they have told us in story how tight her and Becky are. So they've pushed it over to a Charlotte and Becky story where you're either getting one of 2 things. The friendly rivalry where they actually say some things about, we were like, sleep in the same sleeping bag tight at one point. I'll always love you for that kind of thing. They build this, talk about the old friendship, then the split. And it's like, we just have to know. And that builds to a Mania match because you haven't had the one-on-one Mania match with them 2 since they've both become the 2 greatest women in the history of the company. Let's be honest here. Let's call it what it is. You have the most decorated female in the history of the business and the most popular female in the history of the business.
It's Rock and Austin.
It's Rock Austin. That's exactly right. This is the women's version of Rock Austin.
Yep.
So I think that's the natural progression in that story.
Yep.
And I don't think it's going to be a nasty feud. It's a I gotta know feud.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's because they built Charlotte into more of a babyface role, and Becky's the ultimate babyface.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm with you with that. That development is definitely on the horizon because what do you do with them at Mania? They have to be there. You talk about
because they're not wrestling Rhea unless you're saving Becky for Rhea.
Which me and you kind of talked about that on the Crown Jewel show, that is definitely a mega possibility. You gotta feed Rhea a big time star who she hasn't beaten,
and it can't be Charlotte again.
She's already beat her.
Done that twice.
She's already beat her. So you gotta feed her the next one. It ain't gonna be Belair.
It's got to be Becky. So it contradicts what I just said, but that's what it looks like they might be hinting to. Either that, or they win tag titles together and try to bring some relevance to that. And I don't want to see that either.
I don't want to see that.
You know?
I don't want to see that.
I think they're above that title at this point because they've made no relevance to the tag titles for the women.
They don't need it. They don't need anything. So yeah, you're right. It's interesting. Now you didn't give me your winner for this match. You didn't give me this winner for this match.
Oh, this is definitely going to be the babyface team, and that's what's going to really provoke the turn on Bayley.
Okay.
Because here's my twist for Bayley.
Here we go.
Now that Triple H has the book, there is no Mercedes Moné to AEW anymore. No, because her problem was Vince McMahon's booking, and that's officially no longer a thing. So we're not getting Mercedes Moné anymore. We're getting the return of Sasha Banks, which I can't
wait.
I love Mercedes. I'm such a Mercedes fan. So I'm so excited to see her back. She is so good. She is one of the greatest ever. She is must-see matches, and heel, babyface, doesn't matter. And that's the ultimate progression because it's going to be, well, I've got friends too. That's what it's going to be with Bayley because they've already set it up that they're clearly going to turn on Bayley here. And Dakota Kai is the mastermind. If you pay attention to the promos, Dakota Kai is the mastermind behind this. Oh no, you did. Yeah, you, Bayley.
Yeah.
It's cheesy, but they're trying to make it as obvious as possible for people to follow along.
So I'm with you. I think the baby faces win here. I think Bianca, Charlotte, Shotzi, and
couldn't tell you what the finish is going to be, but I know it's going to be the baby faces.
Yeah, I think they win, and then I believe the turn happens here at Survivor Series. And I was reminded, I can't take credit for this because I saw something on Instagram earlier today. A lot of turning happens at Survivor Series.
See, I didn't see any spoilers for that.
No spoiler. I'm just saying they just sold throughout the years of Survivor Series.
It's known for that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's the birthplace for someone turning.
That's why I think we're getting an RKO on Cody Rhodes.
Right.
I'll be shocked if we don't get an RKO on Cody Rhodes.
Something's gonna happen.
I helped you, and now it's time for the feud.
Right,
the feud that Cody wants, like behind the scenes, Cody wants this bad. Let's do this. You're at the end. I'm getting the title in a few months. We can't do it with the title. Let's do it now.
Right.
I guarantee you that's it. I can almost bet money you're getting an RKO on Cody at the end of the
day. And I think before that, you're going to get Becky again. Absolutely.
My bad.
No, you're good. You're going to get not Becky. You're going to get Bayley absolutely obliterated.
Yeah, it's going to be bad.
They're going to absolutely destroy her.
It's going to be tables getting drug in the ring. It's going to be
an absolute beatdown, and it's going to set up this gauntlet thing for her for now up until maybe Elimination Chamber. If we can get Sasha back in the building, which I'm expecting that she will, you're going to have Bayley going one-on-one with all of them. All of them. She's going to be going it alone. No one.
They got to build her back up because they cut her down this past year.
And that's what I'm saying. Like she has to go through the gauntlet.
Bayley, the role model Bayley has
to by herself. The fans will get back behind her. Everything kind of build up.
Determination of the hugger.
Yeah,
with the tactics and experience of the role model, the two gimmicks she's had, the evolution.
Yeah, and
you're going to have a combination of
you're going to fuse those. The maturity will be there and everything else. So I think that's what we're going to get here. She's going to ultimately go through the gauntlet. She's going to get to a point where I need some help. Like who's going to, I need some help.
Exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be Triple H reaching out to Shawn Michaels in 2006.
Yes, and I remember that.
I remember that. Dealing with the Spirit Squad is 5-on-1. Or no, it was Legacy at the time.
Yeah, I remember that. So, I think the match, and I think it's going to be a really potential 5-star match here.
Oh God, you got some of the best talent in
that's what I'm saying. Like, look at the card. I'm gonna throw the card back up for 1 second. Look at the card. Like, look who you have in this match.
Shotzi was a monster on the Indies. Like she's only had moments to shine in WWE. It looks
like
she's
shine here. She's going to shine here because her athleticism and her creativity is going to be on display. But you got 4 or 5 of the best ever. Period.
We got 3 of the 4 horsemen.
Oscar. Yeah, they're all in here. So
only one missing Sasha Banks.
Oh yeah, and I hope we get her back soon. So
yeah, it's not happening. It's a Rumble appearance. No,
yeah,
if not, maybe Elimination Chamber.
I think Elimination
They're
Chamber.
Going to have something where she's not going to come back unless she can be in Mania.
I think Elimination Chamber for sure.
So Elimination Chamber at the latest.
Yep. So this one should be good. I'm very interested in this spot.
Bayley could go through the month of December with this beatdown and something happen at Rumble, because Rumble's around my birthday. It's in the January 20s range.
Bayley's about to go through some things.
Yeah.
She's about to go through some things. All right. So very interested in this spot. Can't wait to see what happens. Up next, an intriguing matchup on this card.
It's such a good pay-per-view, right?
It is. It's excellent. It's excellent.
Because I knew this was next on the card. I got a lot to say on this one too, man.
So Zoe Stark, you're good, man. We're having fun here tonight. Zoe Stark. Zoe Stark is going to get her opportunity to shine as she goes up against the unquestioned, in my opinion, unchallenged, best pound for pound women's wrestler and maybe top 5 wrestler in all of the industry.
Number one fan, right?
Mommy's number one fan. I am excited to see this match. Go ahead and kick it off. What are you thinking, man?
Because we're going to get a strong showing from Zoe Stark, because they've continued and consistently been building Zoe Stark. Because I was a fan of Zoe Stark in NXT. I said, ooh, she's going to be one to get called up soon. And they put her in the right angle with the biggest women's star of one era, with the biggest women's star of the current era, and let her grow under that until they were ready to branch her off. And she has been excelling. Yes, she has a tie-in with Shayna Baszler. They're kind of handy, cuffing to one another for support kind of thing, because Triple H is all about his stables. As you can see, there's stables everywhere now.
Yeah, I love it.
Which is classic wrestling. I love the stables too.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I think we get a great showing from Zoe, but obviously it's going to be a strong 2-move setup, strong finish for Mommy. Rhea's going to take it. Zoe's going to have her, you're going to see the surprised look on Rhea's face a few times, because she's so good at selling the moment. That's part of what makes her so great, like you were talking about. She's so good at this business, because it's more about emotion than it is just spots.
Absolutely.
You can have the 5 moves of doom like John Cena and sell more merchandise than anyone in history. Right?
For sure.
So she's so good at this. She's really going to sell how impressive Zoe is and how she's being surprised by Zoe. She's going to do a lot. She's building a star in this match while still having a dominant finish. That's what I think we're going to get in this match.
And I'm with you, but I also think this is the Zoe Stark respect night, where she's going to shine in big spots in this match. And like you said, Rhea's going to really put her over by her reactions to her.
This isn't the Zelina Vega match. This isn't a 5 to 7 minute match. This is going to be 20-30 minute match.
They're going to work. They're going to work in this match.
It's
set up like that because Zoe is so athletic. And like you said, over the past few months, she's been in there with Becky Lynch countless times. She's been in there countless times, and we've seen her against Becky and in different spots. And for her,
this is the equivalent of putting the rocket ship, as they call it, on the back of a woman. Is putting her with these women throughout her run.
And she's going because of her athleticism alone. So Mommy Rhea is going to put on the show of shows that she always does, and she's going to win here. And when this match closes out, Rhea will leave no doubt that she is still the
I think she even gives a little respectful nod kind of thing
when it's over
leaving the ring to her.
Oh yeah, I think Rhea's hair is a mess. I think the makeup is all
I think she
weird.
gets the tip of the cap, whatever her move of that is going to be as she's exiting the ring.
She likes to do the long stare, long stare before she leaves out, after a match of that caliber. But yeah, I think we're going to get a good treat here. A lot of people are going to learn about Zoe Stark. A lot of people are going to gain respect for her, and then she's now going to be on a lot of people's radar. So,
that's the thing. The way we just discussed it being booked, it only benefits both of them.
No, absolutely.
It's good for both in that situation. Yeah.
All right, we're going to go to the comments right before we get to the main event of the evening. We had a couple comments drop since we started. Bilbo says,
appreciate you guys for being here.
Absolutely, 1,000%. Thank you for taking your time. Bilbo says, what do you guys think of the series, Dark Side of the Ring?
Yeah. I'm for every wrestling documentary, even when they involve the bro-tarded Vince Russo. Bro, I'm telling you, bro. Because, bro, just think about it, bro. He's the worst on the planet for saying it too much.
He's broed out for sure.
He can say a 10-word sentence and says bro 2 or 3 times in it.
He's broed out for sure.
It's unbelievable.
He's broed out.
But even that, because I'm just so interested in the stories, I watch them all. I don't matter who it's on, even if it's somebody I've never actually seen a match for. I love the stories. I'm all for it.
That's what I was about to say. Anything with the storytelling, especially something in that we haven't been privy to knowing about. There's more in depth of maybe things we do know about. I can't tell you how many times I watch these WWE documentaries, and I love the Hell in a Cell one with Triple H and Mick Foley, and the commentary alone is spectacular. So yeah, series like Dark Side of the Ring, count me in for sure.
Even booking the territories, whatever it was, the one The Rock produced.
Oh yeah,
Jeff Jarrett and all that.
Yeah. Great stuff.
Lawler on it, and all those old cats. That was great to watch.
All the legends on
telling stories, you know.
Absolutely. All right, Adam Crow, thank you, man, for joining us tonight. He says 2 guys I love watching. Talk about smelly water, and now previewing another one of my loves. That is
Rashad. Speaking of,
cheers, gentlemen.
Absolute.
Cheers to you, Adam. Thank you, man, for watching for sure. Randy says, I'm surprised to hear you say that. As I remember in Crown Jewel stream, you said it was Chicago or bust, but that does make sense for the bigger pop. Yes, absolutely. That's the thing with the wrestling industry. You build. Oh, not exactly. Curve around.
You can't help but think they don't want to pass the opportunity, but the smarter play is to pass the opportunity. You got to piss Chicago off.
You got to let us down.
Bigger payoff, because Chicago's a rowdy crowd. They're going to be pissed off.
And we're going to hear it Saturday night.
We're going to hear CM Punk chanted. It's
all
going to
night
happen.
long. All night.
They've taken over shows before. After he was out the company, they've done it a bunch of times. So
Bibbo says, "Is that Superfly?" I'm guessing he's talking about Carlito or
Carlito.
Randy says some of the undercards lately have been underwhelming lately, or is it just me? It just depends on what you're invested into, Randy. Yeah, it depends. It depends.
I think this is a loaded premium live event. There's so much. Everything's got a story in this one.
Absolutely.
9-8 story.
918 cents. Shout out Clint. What's up, Clint? Hey, Dedrick Ross. What's up, Clint? Thank you for joining us, man. Bibbo says the Miz is corny. Yeah. But he's great. He's great.
That's the point, though.
He's great. Cyrus Bernard says I found SummerSlam 1992 on
that was Bret Hart. That was the Hart Foundation team in 92.
Hell yeah, man. 92.
I think so. Him, Perfect, Jim Neidhart. And
yes.
I think that's that one.
They were going against Boss Man and them boys.
I might be wrong, but I want to say that's that year.
But that's a hell of a find, though, for you to find that in your drawer. A VHS, by the way, that's a keepsake now, man. An artifact.
It's an artifact, yeah.
Attention Span says, I do not like the stables. It's an easy way to get everybody on TV without progressing a bunch of storylines. Kind of lazy. Okay, well.
I can understand the point, but at the same time, the rosters are so deep at this point that everybody wants to be on TV. You got to find a way to keep people in front of the audience some kind of way. So I understand it. I'm for it.
I get what he means by that. I get what he means by that, for sure.
I get it too.
Adolfo, I never really watched wrestling. Just never got into it. Okay, only played it on Nintendo 64. Yeah, my cousins and I. Yeah, we had a good time playing it too, but we also watched. Man, thank you for joining us, Adolfo. Let's see. All Genre says it helps that Punk finally made his return in AEW after 7 years because a chance would be annoying.
Well, it's still going to happen.
You're going to get him. You're going to get him. You're going to get him for sure. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into the main event of the evening of this year's Survivor Series. And boy, I can't wait. Here we go, guys. We got the main event. Oh, my bad. We got the main event of. There it is. All right, here we go. Main event of the night. War Games. You have such an incredible amount of talent in this match. The Judgment Day going up against Team Rhodes. You have the world champion right by his side, Seth Rollins. You have Jay. You have Randy Orton returning. And, of course, you got one of my personal fan favorites, Sami Zayn. Ross, there's so much.
The most loaded match.
Alluded it. Yeah, we've alluded to it a little bit before we got here, but we are here now they've been building this, I want to say, for at least since Jay got to Raw. You start seeing the little pieces move together for this opportunity. So Ross,
well, they started building McIntyre being pissed off that he was there. That was the initial thing, and that's what swayed him to get into this match.
Didn't Drew come back the same, like the week after Jay got there? It was really close when Drew got back. So
yep,
yeah. So
they started building this story.
Let's dive into it. So for those who are not kind of caught up on where we are with this match, going in, you didn't have fifth members for each team for a while. So Drew McIntyre has officially turned heel. He has now aligned himself with the Judgment Day. And then we were waiting on that fifth person from Team Rhodes. And we somewhat got it last night on Monday Night Raw.
What an anticlimactic. I texted him the moment it happened. I said, what an anticlimactic moment. I sent him a voice message. I said, son of a bitch. Because we knew we were getting Randy Orton last night, but then we didn't get Randy Orton.
No,
and
not.
Cody just went ahead and said his nicknames and got the crowd chanting Randy and said, you know what? They figured it out. You know what? They're right. And he tosses the mic. He never says Randy Orton's our partner, but WWE put the card out and all finally they teased it already with posts. Like the lead up to Randy, I think was stupid. I think they really freaked out on how do we get them to not take over the show with CM Punk chants. I think this is their way of trying their damnedest to stop that. Like, look, it's Randy. It's about Randy. We're not bringing CM Punk out. I really think, or they could be swerving us. I think it's unlikely, but they could be swerving us. There's always that chance that he still shows up, like your booking scenario. But I think it was a very lackluster way of bringing Randy Orton back from back surgery. I think for one of the most respected modern day legends of this business, one of the greatest heels of all time, one of the most decorated that they've ever had. I think it was a very lackluster way to bring him back into the fold.
There's got to be a build, right? There's got to be a build that we're not seeing, that we're not thinking. There's got to be some type of alternative.
Especially with Randy being a hunter guy.
Well, there's got to be something here.
Orton, you know?
For you to miss out on the opportunity for a oh my God moment where we did not see it coming, to have Randy Orton back in the fold, you didn't even have to put Rhodes on the mic letting us know that he has a friend.
No.
You didn't even have to do that. You could have dropped little nuggets along the way, but what's done is done. Over the past 3 weeks, the seeds have been planted and an obvious drop that Randy Orton is coming, and last night, Cody Rhodes all but said it. So here we go. We're lined up now. Team Judgment Day, Team Rhodes with Randy Orton. Let's dive into this matchup. I cannot wait for first and foremost to hear, I hear a voice. I can't wait.
The pop could have been bigger, though.
It could have been bigger, but I think it'll satisfy me personally.
I'll still get emotional. I'll be happy to see him.
Yeah, just to see him again. The fans, the moment. He deserves it all of what he's contributed in his career. So that's first. Second, where do we go with Jey Uso looking sick as a baby in the ring on Monday Night Raw with this crazy look, which he killed it, by the way, and it was hilarious, but he killed the nervousness of hearing that Randy Orton was going to be the team. Let's start there, Ross. How does Jey Uso really deal with the fact that Randy Orton, he's responsible for Randy being out?
Mm-hmm.
What do we got? What do we got with that?
So that could potentially be, like I was saying about the RKO on Cody, it could be on Jey for that reason, to get him a warm-up feud before he goes after Cody. Because I really think you're going to get a Cody and Randy Orton feud before Mania. Because it's a bucket list thing for Cody. Now that he's a big star, Randy's his mentor. Randy doesn't have a whole lot long left. He wants Randy Orton. So what a better way to do it than to be in the middle of that beef? Because all this stuff's falling apart because he brought Jey Uso to Raw is the story.
Right.
So I think that's you're going to see some animosity with everybody except Sammy and Cody and Seth. It's really going to be, you're going to see it with Drew and you're going to see it with Randy a little bit. I think just a little bit. I don't think it'll give you much because I think they're going to save that for if he's the one that catches the RKO that's on the same team. Somebody on Randy Orton's team's catching RKO.
Someone's getting it.
There's only two candidates.
Someone's getting it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that do you force feed us Cody and Randy at the end of War Games? I think the smart move is no. I think it's no. You don't do that. You build, as the theme of this show has been, the build for major moments. And by God, if you can't set up a Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes at the Royal Rumble in a magnificent,
that could be your main event, because you're probably not getting Roman.
Yeah, I'm about to say, is there anything for Roman to do at the Rumble? I don't see it. Now I do have
that could be your headline, but Cody's got to win the Rumble. That's the only issue there.
Well, we've seen it before. We've seen guys have matches and then enter the Rumble and do their thing. So I wouldn't be surprised if you get Randy and you get Cody earlier in the night, or you get the
maybe we get him at Elimination Chamber. That would make more sense, because you got to have Cody win the Rumble back-to-back years. That's his only ticket. There's no other way to challenge Roman.
Well, what about this? What if Cody doesn't win the Rumble?
Then how does he get to Mania? That's the
he wins the Elimination Chamber to get that shot, because it's either one or two ways for that next title shot. Either it's for the title at Elimination Chamber, or it's for the title opportunity.
Yeah,
at Elimination.
It could be that. They could do that.
So if you want to drag out the story with Cody, Randy costs him at the Rumble. You see what I'm saying? Like there's a lot that can happen to push us to the brink to be like, okay, what's happening? Who's going to face Roman? If the Rock thing is truly dead, what are you going to do?
Oh yeah, he's going back to making 25 million a picture. He don't care about WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the storyline for the Rock is completely dead. Then why not push it?
I'm glad though.
Yeah.
Honestly, don't stop coming back. Just come back to say hi. Don't come back for matches. That's where I'm at with The Rock.
Okay.
If you couldn't give it to me when it meant something, don't give it to me now.
Yeah,
don't give it to me just because you're bored.
Are you with me with the ship has kind of sailed on that potential Roman and Rock?
It had to be last year or nothing.
Yeah.
If you wanted to save Cody's story for this Mania, you still could have did that. You could have had him lose the Rumble and all the good stuff, because you had already cemented you were into Roman and Rock for the whole head of the table. Who's the real head of the table thing? It made sense last year.
Yeah.
I don't need to see it now. The time passed. It's over. We need to see Cody's the one to take the belt off of him. There's no one else. It's got to be Cody.
No, there's no one else. It's got to be Cody.
There's no one else. It's either you put it on him till he decides to stop re-signing contracts, or because you've done nothing to build anyone else to take it off of him.
Yeah, I think that there's even a lot there with Randy and potential Cody, because I agree with you. We're going to get them at some point in time. Randy's not going to come back to do anything with anybody else that doesn't have any staying power, so to speak.
Yeah.
And
no, there's a long history.
Cody is his guy. So now that we have that, now let's move inside and further into the match. Let's single out Seth Rollins here. Got the world champion in here. The world champion is in this match. He's quietly moved along throughout the last 2 or 3 weeks. Got done with Crown Jewel, escaped the Damian Priest cash in, but he's kind of just been floating around. Is there any potential here that he could be cashed in on with Priest in the match?
I think it's a huge opportunity.
Yes, it is.
I think a huge opportunity, which would make that storyline we talked about earlier completely null and void, with Damian getting written off and Drew taking the title. But I do think it's a real possibility there, because you can still break up Judgment Day and really start to fall apart here just as well, if not better, with Damian cashing in Saturday night and winning. Because I'm telling you now, it's going to be a successful cash in. It's not going to be a miss. It's not an Austin Theory thing. They took that briefcase off. Hunter said it in a press conference. I would argue he's 10 times better now that we took that briefcase off of him. Don't you think Austin Theory's better? Like, he was doing him a favor. They were saying, you buried him. No. I gave him a fresh start, was his argument. So that was intentional, because normally the cash-ins are a success. And Damian Priest is a legitimate main event star on the rise. So when he cashes in, he's holding that belt above his head. And I think outside of Saturday, I don't see another opportunity, because it's not going to be a Monday Night Raw thing. Royal Rumble's a real possibility, but I see him being more of a potential main event at
Mania Night 1.
For Mania, yeah, because between now and then, you could have Gunther lose on Raw, because that's mainly where he defends this title. Half the time, he defends it on Raw in the main event.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a possibility to do that, and your first real challenger could be. But I mean, there's a lot of ways it could play. But I think what you're saying here with the cash in, I think we're like a 90% probability of the reality being at the end of it. There's a spot where it's obvious that he needs to cash in right here, and he does. I think we got a real probability with this.
I think so too. I think a real opportunity, like you said, for 3 or 4 things to really happen in this match are very possible. And I'm leaning towards utter chaos when this thing is. I'm not even talking about the match. Let's pause. The match is going to be great.
Oh yeah,
you got too much talent in the ring.
High spot heavy.
Too many storylines. 5-star quality of an event with this match. We're going to continue on with this fantasy thing.
They got to top the emotion of last year's with the Bloodline, because that was emotion. Sammy being accepted, all that. Yeah, they got to top it.
Well, if they're going to top that,
yeah,
they're going to have to really give us some oohs and ahs. But we'll get
to that. That was the talk of the wrestling world
for weeks,
for a long time.
Weeks. Yeah. Who wins this match? And then let's get more into this this potential fantasy stuff. Who wins this match?
I think we have a combination Jay and Cody's tag team finish with a stomp. I think we have that hit into a stomp with the pin from Seth. I think Seth gets the pin, or that's one finish, or we get an RKO out of nowhere for the pin, because they could want to give Randy this win in his return. So I think it's one of those two, something along those lines with the first option, or Randy Orton getting the finish. What do you think?
I think you're right on the first thing you said with the combination with Rollins and
I think Rollins they all get involved in it.
Rollins getting the win, Cody and Uso doing their thing. But I think that's when you go, well, where's Randy? Match is over. He's starting to coil up because something's about to happen. I don't think Randy gets to finish because, well, he could, because we've seen Randy be happy with people and oh yeah, and then boom.
But here's an opportunity to really set what this version of Randy is going to be. Here's your chance.
Exactly. And normally when Randy has done the comedic thing, it's funny. Don't get me wrong, it's funny, but I don't think we're going to get. Yeah, we're not going to get. This ain't nothing funny about what Randy Orton is going to be doing at the end of this match. But I do agree with you on the first option. I think that Team Rhodes wins. Team Rhodes wins for sure. Yeah. Utter chaos break loose. But then when this thing is over, I think you are going to get a lot here. So follow me for a second. You're going to get something with Randy Orton, as Ross has beautifully detailed. He's going to get a piece of flesh from Jey Uso. Something's going to happen there. Will it be quick or turn into a feud? I don't know. And then you are going to get the first seeds laid between Cody as he tried to tell Randy what are you doing? Mm-hmm. Hey, man, we're team. Like, what are you doing? Because Cody is the ultimate babyface right now.
Mr. Professional.
And that's when Randy gives him the look,
talks down to him, kind of thing.
And Randy ain't
the mentor.
And the same thing happened with Edge when Edge returned. Mm-hmm. So I think you're going to have that there. And then on the other side of that is the CM Punk thing probable, as we talked about. I got to say, man, I am leaning more towards him possibly ending this show with coming out of nowhere as Rollins gathers himself after having us, whatever happens between Orton and Uso as things get situated.
Look, I just want to tell you this right now. I want to interrupt you right here.
Go ahead.
If the camera cuts to him facing the alleyway, kind of gathering himself, getting up slow, I'm going to start cursing you out without you being around. You son of a bitch. Because I know it's coming if I see that. Because if you see the spot of just the cameras focused on Seth Rollins looking away and you hear the crowd go apeshit, it's CM Punk. Because it won't be music hitting.
It won't. And that was my next thing. I don't think we get the coat of. I don't think we get that.
Because at that point, they'll be disappointed that he's not coming. You got to keep the music out of it at this point.
You got to keep him at bay. And here's another thing. Here's another thing. Rollins is trying to avoid a cash in. We know that. We know he's trying to avoid a cash in. That's the only thing he has going on right now. But he doesn't have anything formidable. Who is the next challenger?
He has no storyline right now except potentially with Drew. That's it.
Punk returns. He annihilates Seth. Damian cashes in, walks out champ. Rollins is unresponsive and out cold. They fade out as CM Punk, and the crowd is going ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's what I'm leaning towards, man. Because who else is going to – does Randy cost Seth the title? No. They have no business. There's no business that can happen between Randy and Seth.
Yeah, because Randy's not going to be in title pictures except to elevate the champ. That's the only time. So that's what I'm
thinking. We're in November, man. It's time.
So I visualized this happening as you're talking about it, and it's one of those deals where Judgment Day is slowly walking down the aisle, and they kind of look back, seeing this happen, and it's like the camera cuts to him, and Drew's the one that says, "Well, now's your chance," and go in his voice, and there it is. So that's, if what you're saying happens, that's probably what happens in the aisleway on camera, because it'll be like oh shit, I should go cash in.
Because they're already out there.
Because look, I'm so torn, because it would be a great moment and I would get amped up and everything, but I would be so much more excited because the excitement of the Rumble. Who's coming out in the Rumble then?
Well, tell me what's more worth it to you. A Rumble pop at the return of CM Punk, or you start off a storyline for the ages.
Well, it's a great way to get the belt off of Seth without making him look weak.
Okay. And now you're building.
So right? that booking is a great way to take the belt off of Seth and put it on Damian Priest.
So you got December, you got January, you got February, and you got March. What in the hell could happen in 4 months?
Torn, man. Because part of me wants to see this come to fruition, but part of me really wants to see the Rumble. But it's
I feel you.
Because look, like I said, on screen, I mean, whoever doesn't like CM Punk on screen, you're just being a hater. But behind the scenes, I bet he really is a nightmare to work with.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you this. If he returns at the Rumble and enters the match, why is he entering the match and Rollins ain't in there?
Good point.
Rollins ain't in there.
Good point.
The only match.
The biggest storyline here is the cash-in for Saturday. Because I don't think too many people that are really invested in this as a fan don't think there's going to be a cash-in.
Right.
It's the ultimate setup. It's chaos 10-man match.
Right.
With a potential CM Punk out of nowhere,
I think
so.
Crown Jewel was such a vanilla for us. Don't get me wrong. Really good event.
Yeah.
I think Crown Jewel was really good.
Logan Paul showed his worth.
Yeah. For the wrestling eyes, it was good to see. You had some really nice spots and you had some nice moments there. But now you're talking one of the core events.
One of the big four.
It's core. So if you can do it, you can do it. So we're hella excited. 5 matches with the potential of bomb.
Well, there's room for every match to breathe since it's only 5 on the card.
It's a
like
lot.
This main event's going to be 45 plus minutes.
It might be an hour with the intro.
45 plus. I don't think it goes less than 45.
Yeah, it's
and
a lot.
This isn't counting after-match activities.
No,
think
it's
about
not.
This, a Roman Reigns match. The first 15 minutes is his intro.
I was about to say 30.
He makes the Undertaker look like a speed walker.
I know, bro.
Jesus.
I know you mess around. It's like, God, well, damn, it's been 36 minutes.
Man, there's matches that were shorter on the card than his intro. It's happened for real.
No, I know. Especially his Mania walk last year versus Rhodes was so damn long.
Oh my God.
For sure.
Unreal.
Well, man, we are speculating and anticipating
heavy speculation in this
and excited. I love when they do the premium events on Saturday. It just has a different feel to it. Don't get me wrong, I like the traditional Sundays. Because for me, I don't know about a lot of you guys watching. Sunday's a lot laid back. Everybody's probably chilling, maybe getting ready for the next week. But there's a different energy about a Saturday. You know what I mean? So I'm excited to see this. Peacock is where you can see Survivor Series. 8 o'clock start. Pre-show starts at 7 o'clock. You can catch the pre-show as well on YouTube. I wrote that down to let you guys know you can watch the conversations.
That's
on
how they
YouTube.
Get you to order Peacock. You can watch it live on WWE.
Free on YouTube.
Which they're about to hit 100 million subscribers.
Which is wild.
They're at 98 million.
They're going to hit it this weekend.
That's crazy. Like, are they going to create a plaque? Because I think the only other 100 million is Mr. Beast.
They're going to have to give them up.
They're going to have a plaque or a platinum plaque or something.
They might make a belt for them. I might make a belt. So, premium event, Core 4, this Saturday, 8 o'clock, Peacock. watch with us. We're going to take all this in, and then we'll be having more conversations. So me and Ross will be getting together more frequently, especially as we drive in to WrestleMania. So again, we also will be taking some nostalgia avenues, man. We'll be talking about some of the greats of our time, the Macho Man Randy Savage, Stone Cold Steve Austin, the NWO storyline, DJ, whatever you can think of. Me and Ross are going to be putting our minds together to get on this platform and discuss it, because now it's cool to be a wrestling fan. So when me and Ross were coming up, it wasn't that cool. It wasn't that cool when we were coming up, but now it is. So stay tuned. Again, if you're watching this on the playback, hit that thumbs up for me. Support the channel. We're going to be growing and growing, especially as we curve into 2024. More wrestling content for sure on the way. And again, we just appreciate you guys taking your time, chopping it up with us. Everybody who was in the comments tonight, really appreciate you guys. Core audience it's always dope. So grateful for you guys for highlighting us for sure. Ross, any final remarks, man, before we get up out of here?
Needless to say, my ass will be in this chair because I'm traveling back from Louisiana on Saturday, but I will be here in time for the pre-show.
Now, will you be watching it live?
So I let it play for a little bit so I can skip ahead anything that's really boring, which I don't think in this card I'm really going to have to do.
I was about to say, I don't think you're going to have that.
There's some cards where I'm like, there's some mid-card stuff where I just skip to the finish.
That's what I was about to say. I don't think you're going to have that opportunity, man.
But I don't think that's going to happen in this. I'm just literally invested in every single match on this card emotionally with the story. So, and the potential for where they go from here. Yep. So I think this is going to be a very engaging premium live event. One of their best.
Yeah, me
too. I think it's a big statement for Triple H fully having creative control at this point.
I'm excited, beyond excited, man. So we can't wait. So again, thank you guys for watching. Watch this event, all my wrestling fans out there, and we'll be back to discuss. Drop some comments down below. Let us know what you think, questions, whatever you got for us, because we will be back, and we would love to answer you guys' questions when we come back for the next Sports Sets Live, when we talk about anything in the world of wrestling. All right.
Send the link to this channel to any friends or family that you have that likes sports in general or wrestling fans. It's been sitting at 161 for a little bit. Let's get the subscribers up for Dedrick. This is a great channel. I love that you do this, D.
Appreciate that for sure. Thank you so much. And my guy Ross, man, dear friend of mine, man, with his contributions really means a lot. And this is what it's all about, man. You got everyday guys out here talking the world of sports, giving our input, giving our insight, and we just glad you guys decided to watch. So appreciate you guys once again. Y'all be safe. Y'all be cool. Y'all take care of yourselves. Enjoy Survivor Series, because we will, and we will be talking about it very, very soon. Until next time, y'all be cool, man. Appreciate y'all. Yeet.
Yeet.